Hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? Good evening, good evening. I apologize, I'm late. I know I'm a couple minutes late this evening. I apologize. So Rust Dog, you guys have seen Rust Dog in some of my videos. Rust Dog suffers from seizures. He generally has one or two a month, and he had one about 3 minutes before I was supposed to go live, and I have been with him trying to work him through his seizures. So I apologize. I'm late. I completely lost all of my bearings, so it's going to take me a minute to get caught back up. Old Rust Dog, he's a good one. I don't want to lose him. So, but yes, he does have some seizures a couple times a month generally, and sometimes we're here for him, sometimes we're not, I think. So anyway, I will get my bearings back. Good evening. It is February the 10th. Welcome to another Wired Live. If I walk away from my computer, I've got Rust Dog in my office with me, and he is sitting here staring at me like a deer in the headlights at the moment. So if I walk away from the computer, something's going on with him, okay? All right. As always, when you guys get on, drop me a line, tell me hello, let me know where you're from. I always like to see where you guys are from and just how far we're reaching. I like to say hello to you guys, so drop me a hello if you would. And let me go ahead and start saying hello to some of you guys real quick. Asleep, what's going on? Josh Sanders, hello. Jimmy, hello, hello. Harold Stamey, what's going on? Larry, welcome back. Larry and Larry, two Larrys. America McBride, hello, hello. Terry, what's going on? Steven, hello. Big O, hello. Ashley Coffee, what's going on, buddy? Fishing Lake Country, what is up? Ronnie Harris, good evening. Phil Pickett, good evening, sir. Crappie Kev from Virginia, snowy Virginia. We are actually supposed to get some snow in Tennessee. We got some last week, and then I think we're supposed to get some more end of this week, first of next week, and then I think again the end of next week. So that's the extended forecast right now anyway. East Tennessee Crappie Club is supposed to have a tournament on Cherokee next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. I think it's the 20th, if I remember correctly. And that will be at a boat launch road on Cherokee Lake. So looking forward to that. Have not been to Cherokee yet, so I am behind the 8 ball, and it looks like rain and snow all weekend. So don't know what we're going to do there, but we'll figure it out. Cherokee's a good lake, a lot of good fish in Cherokee, so we'll figure it out between now and then. Misty Martin from Crappie Cove. What's going on, Misty? Welcome. She says, hello all from your Crappie Cove girl. So Misty, guys, if you call Crappie Cove, Misty is who you want to talk to order anything from Crappie Cove. And there's a discount code right down there in the bottom. Wired will get you 10% off at Crappie Cove. And the phone number is down there in the banner as well, guys. So check them out. I'm sure you guys saw the video last week, saw some of the great products that Crappie Cove has. If you did not see all the products that Crappie Cove has on the video last week, go back and watch the video. And there's also a little bit of a bonus in there for the first 5 people that ordered off of that video, if you mention that video. So go watch the video and get you some stuff from Crappie Cove, guys. Solomon Ott from North Carolina. Hello. Daryl Quarles. Hello, hello. You all right, buddy? Sorry. Sid Lewis from Madison, Mississippi. What's up? Todd Pell. Hello. JT's All Outdoors. What's going on, buddy? Slab Buster, hello, hello. Chris Jackson from Mayfield, Kentucky. What's going on, Chris? Crappie Fanatic from Somerset, Kentucky says, what's up, Matt? What's up, buddy? Lamar Ingram from Alabama. Johnny Coots from Ringgold. Bartlett, Tennessee, Mr. David Thomason. Hello, David. Tom A. Tom says grasshopper in the house. Let's see. Wesley Harden. Hello. AC Taylor from Kansas City, Kansas. What's going on, buddy? We got Jamie Nelson from Calvert City, Kentucky. Hello, hello. There's my beautiful wife, living life with Laura. Hello. She says, hope y'all are having a great Wednesday. Chad Hillard from East Texas. What's up? Sleep says, Chris says, wired for crappie. I saw the video. You cut me down, but that is okay. I will get you back on the next video. That's funny. Yeah, so if you hadn't seen the video, I got Chris pretty good. Y'all have to go watch the video to see what he's talking about. But I got old Chris pretty good in that video. I had to make sure I left that in there too. There was no edit on that one. I had to make sure I left it. So, Tim Payne, what's up? David Wall, hello, hello. Ray Arnold, call me Camo. How's it going, guys? Virgil McMurray, he said, hello, Matt. The bite was tough today on Teleco. Yeah, so I actually fished Teleco Sunday. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. I had a very good day on Teleco Sunday. It was extremely good down there, actually. Sunday. Now, Sunday to Wednesday is a whole different ball game, but seems like I should have been feeding today with the warm day, sun. Probably should have been feeding today, especially with the low pressure on the way, low pressure tomorrow. But yeah, we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Tyler Key, good evening to you. Johnny says stump bugs work great. Grasshopper. I'm assuming Johnny got to use those. Joseph from Macon, Georgia. Hello. Slabbuster said, beautiful day in Alabama. It was. Ray Arnold says, getting snow, supposed to get 8 inches in Maryland. Good night. Well, keep it up there. Keep it on that side and not down on this side. Keep it north, not in the south. I don't want any more snow. I'm done with snow. It needs to start warming up in spring, and the spawn need to get here. So this prolonging winter thing is on my nerves. Call Me Camo says he's going to have to take up ice fishing. Below 0 temps forecasted. Yeah, there's some very, very cold temperatures forecasted for the next several days. So the fish are going to get knocked in the head again, that's for sure. We'll see what happens, but it will be interesting. I can't watch this orange float around here anymore. Let's go with a different color. Hey, there we go. Something different. Or maybe this one. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, we'll do that, but we'll darken it up. There we go. All right. On the fly like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's go back to comments here. Slabbuster said, y'all can have that snow. Yeah, no joke. Virgil said, I would have thought they would. I caught them good yesterday, but today was hard for me. The pattern probably changed. So if you fished yesterday and then you fished today, there was definitely a pattern change, I'm sure. So with that pressure that came in today, rising pressure, warm weather, surface temps warming up. I don't know where you caught them at yesterday, Virgil, but I would say today they were on shallower brush than they were yesterday. Jimmy and them, I don't know where you guys fished. They said they caught some today on Teleco. I don't know where they fished at today. I saw some photos from them earlier, but So I fished Sunday. I fished Tellico Sunday, and the fish I caught Sunday, of course, it was cold Sunday. But the fish that I caught Sunday were deep. The better fish. I caught some fish shallow, but they were smaller fish. The better fish that I caught were deep. I fished anywhere from 28 feet to 40 feet and caught consistent fish on structure, and they were within feet of the bottom. So fish were just locked down on the bottom. Typical winter pattern type stuff, just locked down, low pressure. But with that rise in pressure today, I'd say they moved up, would be what I would think. Ray Arnold said his lakes are frozen. Josh said, I'm unsubscribing. You got rid of the orange. We got to switch it up, Josh. We can't. It's like my fishing. I can't do the same thing twice. I mean, we got to switch it up some. Tyler asks, do you ever fish at night with lights? So I used to fish at night with lights, yes, in the summer, but with kids, it is absolutely miserable going night fishing, because then your kids are up the next day and you can't sleep and they want to play and they're jumping on your head, and it just doesn't work very well for sleep when you go fishing all night. So I don't night fish as much as I used to, but yes, I have fished under the lights. And it's a great way to catch fish too. I just don't do it much anymore. Terry Landry from South Louisiana. What's going on, Terry? Larry's asking, so he says, a couple weeks ago, someone asked and you missed it, how to tell if you get a bite as your jig is going down. Well, Larry, you got to watch your line. So if you're watching your line, I tell people all the time, when I pitch a jig out, I want that jig to fall on a slack line. 95% of the time, I want my jig to fall on a slack line. And what I mean by slack line is when I pitch my jig out, I will not close my bail. If you close your bail on your reel, that jig is going to, let's see, which way am I going here? That jig is going to pendulum back towards the boat, okay? If you leave that bail open and you leave slack in your line, that jig will fall straight down in the water column. I always want my jig to fall straight down in the water column. So when you have that slack in your line, you can watch your line on the lake, on the surface of the water, and you can see that line falling, okay? You can see the line that's going away from you as the jig falls. If that line stops going away from you, you're either A, on the bottom, or B, a fish has your jig in his mouth. So you have to watch the line to see those strikes. And a lot of times you'll see that line jump too. It's a little bit more difficult to catch that jump in your line. Some people have a knack for it. Some people don't have a knack for it. So, and by jump in your line, I'm talking about just a very subtle twitch. I mean, that's about as quick as it's going to happen. It's going to be, and that's a bite. So you've got to watch your line. That's kind of counterproductive for what we preach, I guess, now with LiveScope is, you watch your LiveScope and, you watch your jig fall on your LiveScope, but, there's still merit in watching your line. You can tell a lot from watching it. So that is how you tell if a fish has picked up your jig on the fall. Wesley Harden says, do you ever use 8-pound test for crappie? Yes, as A matter of fact, I do. The 8-pound test that I use is actually, I think this is 8. Yep. So right now I'm using a Vicious 100% fluorocarbon. That is 8 pounds. You can see it right there. 8-pound test. And it says white. It's actually clear. It's 100% fluorocarbon, clear, invisible in water. This is what I use for my leader onto my braid. I have started experimenting with a new braid. I'll go ahead and talk about it a little bit. It is the K9 Super Braid. This is an 8-strand. It's 20-pound test. And golly, that blinded me when I looked at the screen. Sorry, guys. It is bright pink. I thought maybe I would like the pink. Real men fish with pink. Okay. Just going to throw that out there. Right, ladies? All the ladies in the house said, yeah. But no, I thought I would like it. I thought it would stand out even more. But when I had it on Teleco last week, it was almost invisible against the watercolor. It was actually pretty aggravating for me. So I thought I wanted to try a couple different brands of braid, and the let me say this, it performed flawlessly. Okay. It was just the color disappeared on me, and I thought it would do the opposite, but it didn't. It disappeared against that clarity of water. I think if it were muddy water, it would stand out better, but in that real clear water, it's like a greenish blue. Teleco's a real greenish, or it's kind of a bluish green, actually. It's more blue than it is green. Anyway, it did disappear against that water, so I lost it a lot of times, and I don't like to lose my line. So for that simple purpose, I will probably not be using it very much. It is a good braid. Nothing to say against the performance of it. The performance of it was great. I just would like to have it in a different color. Now, you guys know I've been using the bonehead braid for a while. I wanted to test a couple different braids, and this is orange. I prefer the orange. I wanted to test a couple different brands and see if I could find one that was a little smoother. I can say that's not any smoother. I mean, it is the K9 again. That K9 is not smoother. It's comparable really to the bonehead. So this is a 20, that's a 12. The diameter on this, it does not tell me. So I don't have an actual line diameter from K9, but let's see. I know that, so the 12-pound braid from Bonehead is comparable to a 4-pound test mono. So let's see if I can tell just by the naked eye, probably not. If I can tell which one looks bigger, probably not. The Bonehead is thinner. I can tell that. I don't know if you guys will be able to or not, but the Bonehead braid. So you can kind of tell right there. The Bonehead braid is thinner. It's a 12-pound and not a 20. So I don't know. For those reasons, I'll probably stay with Bonehead for the time being. But good braid, and real men fish with pink. So hey, there you go. So yeah, that's my 8-pound test. I use the fluorocarbon for a leader on the end of my braid, about 4 feet of a leader. Heidi Clark from Idaho. Hey, Heidi. David Moyer from Alabama. Hello, hello. All right. Tyler, how do you pick up crappie hugging the bottom on your LiveScope? Use the tracer setting. No, actually, to pick up crappie on your LiveScope that are glued to the bottom is a lot of time. I mean, if they're glued to the bottom with their belly on the bottom, Tyler, you're not going to be able to see them if they're sitting still. You really just have to look if it's structure you're fishing. You have to look at your structure, and you just have to wait and see if you see movement on the bottom. If you see bottom that's crawling, is the way I explain it. So if you see a crawling bottom, that means there's fish down there. If you look and you see solid bottom and nothing's moving, chances are your fish aren't there. And then, putting a bait over top of them always trumps it. So I have take Fort Loudon, for instance. The last tournament we fished on Fort Loudon, that we actually won the tournament, and we had probably 6 of our 7 fish that were caught on the bottom of the lake. They were on structure, but they came off the bottom, and we couldn't even see them on the LiveScope until they come up to get a jig. So you could just, every once in a while, you'd see the bottom that just kind of looked like it was crawling. Okay. If you see that bottom to where it looks like it's crawling like this, then that means there's something moving down there, right? And a lot of times that's fish that are glued to the bottom. Real quick, guys, real quick. I want to talk about the Crappie Academy at Crappie Cove for just a moment. The Crappie Academy at Crappie Cove is going to be March the 7th, okay? All of the information is on their website, which is right down there in the reel, in the banner for you guys. It's crappiecove.com. And I will be teaching that class. It is a 3.5-hour class. And the first class is how to locate crappie anytime, anywhere. And we are going to get, like I said before, this is going to be in a hands-on, very detailed class. I'm having books printed. So each person that comes to the class live in the classroom is going to get a book that you can write in, that you can take home. We're going to work. It's almost like I'm setting it up almost kind of like a workbook, but we're going to do it together in the class. And you guys will be able to draw on it, make notes, highlight, circle things. We're going to have, Navionics maps. I'm going to show you guys how I go about breaking down water. We're going to do shading on there. I'm going to show you guys how exactly I break a body of water down before even going to it, eliminating 90% of dead water. It's going to be very, very in-depth, very, very good stuff. And like I said, it's going to be very hands-on for you guys to learn and become better at catching these fish. So if you have not seen that, if you have not registered for that, there is a limited number of people that can come to the class in the classroom. We also have that available on a Zoom, so you can sign up to participate in the Zoom call, and you will have me on Zoom in classroom as well. You'll be able to see my computer screen and go through everything with me from the Zoom call. So you will be able to see all that from the Zoom call as well. But if you haven't registered for that yet, go get registered. Like I said, there's only so many spaces available for that. The Zoom call there's only so many available for that as well, because you can only have up to so many participants on that as we're doing it. Like I said, it's 3.5 hours, and it's going to be very, very detailed, in-depth stuff. And then the guys that come to the class, you're going to leave with something. So, you guys are going to be able to you're going to leave with your book first and foremost, but you're also going to leave with some stuff. So make sure you get registered for that. And we're going to have one every quarter this year. It'll be every 3 months. We'll have a class at Crappie Cove, and we're going to be going over something different every 3 months. It's not the same class. We're going to be we're all going to grow together. So we're going to start out with how to find them. Then we're going to go to, sonar, and then we're going to go to how do you approach once you found them? How do you approach them? What's your presentation? What are the different presentations? How to perform each presentation? We're going to get real. We've got some really cool stuff coming with dock shooting this year. We're going to teach you guys how to dock shoot, and we're going to do that in a really, really fun way. I'm looking forward to it, but I don't want to give away too much. So if you're interested in learning, this is not a class you're going to want to miss, guys. That's what I'm trying to get across, and it's going to be very, very insightful. Okay, so go register for that at crappiecove.com. Go to events, scroll down through events, go to Crappie Academy, and it'll give you all the breakdown for all the classes. Okay. Brandon, so I was at Melton Hill for a couple hours today with my son, caught about 20, but only 2 keepers. Any idea where to look for slabs? On Melton Hill, well, actually, yeah, Loudon. Oh, Melton Hill's a good lake. I love Melton Hill. No, Melton Hill is a good lake. There's a lot of big fish in Melton Hill. From my experience, Brandon, with Melton Hill, your bigger fish are going to come off laydowns. There's very few docks that hold fish on Melton Hill, very few. And I'm talking, when I say very few, I can count them all on this one hand. But most of your bigger fish are going to come off laydowns. There are some big fish that will come off offshore structure, but the lake has to be right. Melton Hill, I've talked about Melton Hill before, and Melton Hill is more of a river than it is a lake. I know it's considered a reservoir as far as Tennessee our TVA is concerned, but it doesn't really fish like a reservoir. It fishes more like a river. So you've got to kind of have a river mindset, looking for current breaks, backsides of blowdowns. Don't be afraid to fish shallow blowdowns, and that's typically where you're going to find your crappie on Melton Hill. So. Chris says, wait, you said me driving the pink Cadillac was bad. Now you are fishing with pink. I didn't say real men drive a pink caddy. I said real men fish with pink. I didn't say anything about pink caddies, Chris. You're on your own on that one, my friend. Ha ha ha. Do you have the matching eyeshadow for the camera? Actually, my wife does, because my wife sells Farmasi. What's that stuff called? Ladies, help me out. I think it's Farmasi, I think. I don't know. She'll step over here to my office here in a minute if she's watching, and she'll correct me. But she sells that stuff. So actually, I do have some pink eyeshadow. I can go get some, we'll put some on the live. Yeah, I know where it goes too. See that? It goes right here, doesn't it? I think. We can do it. Gosh, this is getting sideways really quick, guys. This is getting sideways. Easy on the comments. Easy in the comment section. Oh boy. All right, I gotta reel it back in. Ask Bonehead if they can do pink line for you. That's funny. Paul from the Chick, what's going on? Larry Merrick says books, excellent. Major Brown, will the online academy get a PDF file of the book as well? Yes, Major, thank you. I should have mentioned that. The online people will get a PDF file of the book as well, okay? as long as you put your, as long as I have their email address when they register. So when you register, you should have to put your email address in. I don't know if it's a mandatory field or not, but as long as I get their email, I will send them the book via PDF. Okay, via email. Chad Hillard, what is a good barometric pressure to fish, rising or falling? I get confused on this. Thanks in advance. Very good question. Very good question. I typically like a rising pressure. Okay. I typically like to fish a rising pressure. Now, with that being said, a falling pressure, so you've got a low pressure, a high pressure, and then you've got falling or rising pressure, moving pressure. Okay. I like a high pressure. Personally, that's my favorite time to fish is on a high pressure, but or a rising pressure. Okay, rising to a high pressure is my favorite time to fish. But a pressure that's moving towards a low pressure can be a good time to fish as well, because a moving pressure just activates game. Okay, anytime the pressure's swinging, it gets game active. Now, I will say this: once you get down to what we consider a low pressure, and it sits on a low pressure, and you have that low pressure front that's on top of you, then that's when those fish will get lethargic, shut down. Fish don't ever shut down. You guys know that. You any given day, you can find active fish on your reservoir somewhere, or your lake somewhere, or your river somewhere. But fish will get more lethargic. They will slow down when that pressure bottoms out, so on and so forth. So to answer that question, I like to fish on a rising pressure, but I wouldn't completely rule out a falling pressure either. Romero says, howdy from Texas. Hello, sir. Robert Johnson, if you sign up for the class and for any reason you miss it, will you be able to catch up on it at a later date? As far as, so right now, I don't believe there's a plan to record those. Right now, we're planning on just doing that in the classroom and on the Zoom. I don't know that we will have those available. I guess we probably can. We really haven't discussed whether we were recording it or not. I haven't planned on recording it, but if Crappie Cove or Blake or somebody wants to record those, then we can possibly do that. To answer that question, I mean, I don't know 100%, Robert. All I know is we have the in class and we have the Zoom, so. It will not go on YouTube. I can tell you that. It will not be on YouTube. I will not put it out on YouTube on the public platform, because it is going to be that in-depth and that good that I want you guys to be able to take it to the lake, put it to use, be more productive, catch more fish, and it's going to be 3.5 hours long. So, that's a lot of video. That's a lot to put out. So at this point, no, it won't go on YouTube. Josh Sanders, I think it's pronounced pharmacy, actually. Don't ask me how I know. Maybe it is pharmacy. Yeah, that's it. That's the stuff. Josh, now I'm worried about you. Jeff, is online available for 3.7 just for the one class? I don't see it. Yes, it is. It should be on there somewhere, Jeff. So when you go onto the events tab, You will see they're offering a 4-class package where if you want to come to all 4 classes, you can buy it as a package and save a little bit of money, or you can select 1 class at a time. It's on there somewhere. I was looking the other day. I don't remember what order it's in, but yes, it is on there. Just installed LiveScope, never used any suggestions, just registered for March class. So yeah, absolutely I do. So congratulations on your LiveScope first and foremost. That's awesome. LiveScope is a great tool. It is not the end-all be-all of crappie fishing. It is not going to put a limit in your boat every time you're out. You still have to have the common knowledge and the basic principles to catch fish. Then LiveScope becomes a very useful tool. But congratulations on getting it on. And my suggestions to you would be, first and foremost, make sure you have a very good battery source, Charles. I run a 30 amp hour battery from Amped Outdoors. The biggest issue that most people have, or the number one issue that people have with LiveScope, is they put their LiveScope on a battery source that won't sustain the amperage. That it's not voltage, it's amperage, guys. There's a difference between volts and amps. My electricians will tell you, you got to have the amperage to run those units. And a lot of guys are hooking them up onto just a 12-volt cranking battery, and it's killing the battery, and they're running them dead, and they're getting this, and they're getting that, and they're getting bad picture, wide, and da-da-da. My number one suggestion to everybody that's buying a LiveScope is spend the extra money for a good battery that will run that LiveScope the way it's supposed to be run. Again, I run the 30 amp hour battery from Amped Outdoors. It runs my LiveScope flawless, and it'll run it for 2 days. I don't have to charge a battery. It'll run it for 3 days, actually, but 2 days, no doubt. 2 8-hour days without a problem. Number 2 would be don't play with your gain. Okay, don't do it, Charles. Don't. I know you're going to go watch videos. I know they're going to tell you turn the gain up, turn the gain down, turn the gain this, turn the gain that. The probably it would be 1.1. So number 1 is the battery. 1.1 is leave the gain on auto medium. Okay, that is going to give you your best picture until you learn your LiveScope. Once you really learn your LiveScope, Charles, then you can start playing with it if you so choose to. But you all right, buddy? Sorry. You okay? Sorry, Charles. Leave your gain on auto medium for the first 10 to 15 trips out, and just learn your LiveScope. Just learn your LiveScope. Adjust your forward view and your depth. Set your depth 2 foot deeper than the water you're in. So if you're in 30 foot of water, put it on 32 and run it. That maximizes your screen. And then however far out your brush pile is, try to stay 5 to 10 foot past your brush pile. If your brush pile is 20 feet from you, don't set your LiveScope out at 50. If it's 20 feet from you, set your LiveScope at 30. That way you can see past it in case you're going to cast past your brush pile. But then again, you're maximizing your screen. The more you maximize that whole screen, the larger your images are going to appear. Okay, so I've got a video out. It's called LiveScope 101, and it shows you how to maximize your screen to get the biggest picture. Just maybe go watch that, and that'll show you how I run auto medium on my gain. Leave your TVG off. Leave your color gain alone. I know there's guys out there that are putting that out on videos, and they're playing with every single setting. But guys, y'all seen my LiveScope stuff. Y'all seen my LiveScope picture. I don't get into all that hype. I honestly believe Garmin's got some of the best engineers in the world, and if they set something up to run on auto, then it works. They know what they're doing. So I run mine on auto medium, still do today. And what happens is when you move from spot to spot, Charles, and your depth changes, the gain, which gain is power, okay? For those that have ever wondered what gain is power. How much power are you putting into the water? The higher the amount of gain, the more power is coming out of your transducer. The more sound, the higher the sound wave, the more sound waves coming out, the more power you're getting. And if you go from 40 feet of water with a gain of 80 to 6 feet of water with a gain of 80, your screen's going to be completely orange in 6 feet of water. So you've got to turn your gain down, turn the power down, because you're running way too hot. Leaving it on auto medium, every time you move your boat, it's going to adjust that gain for you. Okay. So those are my suggestions for LiveScope. Let that thing do its thing. And you just learn it. You worry about learning your forward view, your depth, and worry about catching fish. And then you can start playing with everything else if you so choose. I hope that helps. I know it's long, but I'm kind of a drawn out guy. Sorry. I'm kind of detail oriented, just a little. Ronnie Harris, you're the second person that has mentioned this to me. As a matter of fact, thumbs up if you like info. Thank you very much, guys. Smash that thumbs up so that YouTube and everybody else knows that it's good info and you enjoy watching it. So smash that thumbs up for me. And why not put a book out? You're actually the second person, Ronnie, that has mentioned that, or this is the second time that a book has been mentioned. And I don't know. Publishing's not cheap, so maybe someday. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I need to start writing, and then one day it'll turn into a book. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, probably could take everything up here and put it on paper and probably get a book out of it. But I don't know if anybody'd buy it, so we'll see. Mm-hmm. So Jason, hey, all from Missouri. Have you ever done much with artificial structure? My home water is a private 230-acre lake community looking to create honey holes. Thanks for the content. Yes, I do. So I did a video not too long ago, Jason, on dropping brush. You should go watch that after the live. Not now, but after the live, go check that video out. It's literally how to drop brush. So it is a passion of mine to build stuff and put it out too. I don't do it as much as I used to. I probably need to start doing it more, but I will show you if I can pull my pictures up. I will show you what my brush looks like that I drop. Obviously, you can go look. You can go watch that video and see some of it on the video, but I'm also going to show you some that I built not too long back that holds fish, consistently holds fish. So I like a hardwood, and I do not like thick structure. I like sparse cover, and I like wood. And the reason I like sparse cover is not because you don't get hung in it, because you still will get hung. But the reason I like sparse cover is because it generally holds larger fish. Very thick structures hold smaller fish. They hold higher quantities of fish, but they generally hold small fish. because those small fish are looking for some place to hide from predators. The larger fish generally hold on, here's some. The large fish generally hold on sparser structure, and they're just there to ambush their prey. So here is some structures that I built. So I don't know, can you guys see those? Yeah, I kind of can. So straight up and down vertical structure in buckets is what I prefer. Wood is what I prefer. Here's a few more that I built. It gives you an idea. 5-gallon bucket full of concrete. Here's a few more. And those are basically 2x3s. They're ripped boards that I used to get from a sawmill. I used to be able to get, they'd take 2x6s and rip them down and use them for pallet boards. And what they ripped off the 2x6s, I would go buy, once or twice a month and pick them all up and load I literally get a whole truckload of them, and they just gave them to you because they were going to burn them anyway. So, but yeah, that's the structures that I prefer to build. Like I said, I like wood and I like vertical, and I like them in a 5-gallon bucket. They're a little easier to handle. You take them out, put them in your boat, drop them. When that 5-gallon bucket full of concrete hits the bottom of the lake, especially in a soft bottom, it sticks. So that's what I like. Jeff says you can record it on Zoom. I don't normally run Zoom. This is StreamYard that we're on currently. So I don't typically run Zoom, but okay. The thing is, Jeff, is, we're trying to do this so people can get more involved, and we're trying to get people to come to the Crappie Academies, and it's an opportunity for me to meet some of you guys. It's an opportunity for you to get involved hands-on, and for that simple purpose, we're not going to record and put this out on a social site. This is going to be in class, hands-on teaching. So I don't believe it'll be recorded. Slabbuster says wood, 100%. I like hickory myself. I just like a hardwood. I've used hickory before and it works, but I like any kind of hardwood. They last a long time. I did notice that. So the first picture I showed you guys was buckets with the stakes straight up and down. I mean, literally vertical, straight up and down vertical. I have noticed that the ones that are laid out a little bit more, that kind of look like well, I don't know what they look like. The ones that are laid out a little bit more actually work a little bit better, I'll say, because we got a lot of trollers up here, and a lot of times trollers will get snagged on them, and they're trolling a mile an hour down the lake and they get snagged on it. They just hold their rod, and a lot of them are using 8 or 10 pound tests, and they'll pull one over pretty easy. The ones that are laid out a little bit from the buckets, actually, when they fall over, they only fall over so much, and then you end up with stakes that are straight up and down if they do fall over. So I've noticed that I like doing it that way a little bit more in case they fall over. Slab Buster says he puts feet on his buckets in case boards fall over. Yeah, you can do that. It just makes them a little more difficult to move around, though, Slab Buster, and you're trying to get them in and out of the truck or in and out of the boat. It makes them a little more difficult. But yeah, you can put feet on them too. But if somebody hooks them with the right stuff, they'll still pull them over. One thing that I've noticed is if you take that bucket, it takes me all I've got. I'm bear hugging that thing and I'm trying to move it around, but as soon as you throw it into the water, you can grab one of those boards and you can bounce it up and down like a float in the water. I mean, it's incredible how buoyant they get once they get in the lake. So, somebody hooks one of those with some 12-pound braid or something and they're trolling, they're going to pull it over. I mean, even with feet on it, because they're going to pull it up off the bottom of the lake and then it's going to lay over. But yeah, feet do help if you don't want them to fall over. But that's why I started just kind of laying mine out a little bit. That way, when they fall over, if they fall over, they do this number, and you've still got boards that are sticking up. Josh Sanders asks, Rusty. Sorry, Josh. Josh asks, what's your thinking strategy for moving depths when not catching fish in your starting depth? What factors determine whether you move deeper or shallower? Time of year. Typically, Josh, in the winter, I'll start deep and work my way shallow. In the spring, I will start shallow and work my way deep. And then in the summer, I will start deep, work my way shallow again. And in the fall, I'll start shallow and work my way deep. Did I say that right? So summer and winter, I start deep and work shallow. Spring and fall, I start shallow and work deep. If you start at 5 foot and they're not there and it's in the middle of spring, go out to 7. If they're not in 7, go out to 10. If they're not in 10, go out to 14. If they're not in 14, go out to 18. It's just a natural progression. Paul, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. It's a blessing to me. Guys, if you don't know what a super chat is or you've never given a super chat, right down below the comment section, there's a little money symbol. That is a super chat. And what that is it's a way for you guys to give back to this channel, to keep me out in the water, making great content for you guys, to keep entertaining comment coming your way. And I do not take any and all super chats. I do not take lightly. So thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. That is a blessing to me, my friend, and I appreciate you for it. Chris, what is this cold going to do to you and your lakes? Are you close to spawn? We are getting fish in 10 feet of water now, but not sure what 7 degrees is going to do and how long it will put us behind. I can tell you exactly what it's going to do to you, Chris. Same thing it does to every East Tennessee Crappie Club tournament we've ever fished in the entire life of the club, pretty much. Hang on. Rusty, lay down. Lay down. Late, good boy. Sorry, guys. Like I said, for those that weren't here when I first got on, Rusty has seizures a couple times a month. Some months are better than others. But the reason I was late tonight is Rusty, actually, Rust Dog. You guys have seen him. If you've seen my videos, you've seen Rust Dog. He's actually on my new intro, running around the boat. He had a seizure right before we got on, so I have to kind of keep an eye on him. He's a little wobbly on his feet, so He's a poor tuckered out little boy right now. So anyway, I can tell you exactly what it's going to do to them, Chris. It's going to send them out of 10 feet of water. They're done in 10 feet of water. Those fish they're going to pull back out into deep water. You're going to catch them on the river channel on trees. In that deep water, they're going to be setting right back out in their staging areas where they would set leading up to the spawn. It's basically going to set you back another 2 weeks or 3 at 7 degrees. And you guys are going to have 7 degrees for like a week, right? I think I saw it's going to be like 7 or 9 or 10 or 11 degrees down there for like the next 5 days or something. It's ridiculous. We're going to get that stuff up here too. But anyway, it's going to be a setback for you guys, and it's going to be weeks before they come back up and get ready to do their thing again. So it will push those fish back out, guaranteed. Jason Groves, thanks all. I've got a mixture, 5-gallon with sanded PVC, irrigation tubing, and feet, 1x1 with thinned out Christmas trees, 2x1 somethings with long hardwood branches. I mean, that should do it. Smorgasbord for my first attempt. I mean, that should do it. The most important thing, Jason, is where you put them. Put them in depths that fish will hold in all the time, okay? Don't just put them in depths that hold them during the spawn. People ask me all the time, what depth do I need to put my structure in? And I kind of recommend that 15 to 25 foot range because that will hold fish year round. I'd rather take the chance of holding fish year round than only being able to go fish my structure in the spring. You know, I only get 3 months out of the year where I can go fish my structure. I'm not a real big fan on that. So I try to put my structure in depths where I can fish it year round and it'll hold fish year round. Okay. Saw another super chat come through. Johnny Coots. Thank you very much, Johnny, for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate you. Like I said earlier, that's a blessing to me. I don't take those blessings lightly. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Slabbuster said, yep, Matt, that happened to some of my brush piles. They were dragging chains, I think, hung my piles and moved them a little. Yeah, they will. I mean, if you put them on a mud bottom and they sink in the mud pretty good, then it's a little harder to get them unsucked from the mud. But if you put them on any kind of medium hard bottom, they'll pick them right up and drop them. I mean, they'll pick them right up and turn them over for sure. And that's just part of it, guys. Some of my best piles are ones that people have knocked over or current has knocked over. Some of those are my best piles. You know, they're laying down there like this right here, and those fish will lay right up underneath them. And some of those are my best piles, to be honest about it. So, yeah, I mean, it don't bother me a bit to fish a pile knocked over. Slab buster, dang spider riggers. Hey, I used to be a spider rigger. Don't knock the spider riggers now. Hey, the one thing that I find funny with crappie fishing is the crappie fishing community as a whole is a 180 of bass fishing, okay? The crappie fishing community as a whole are friends, brothers, sisters, and they want to help people. As a whole, that's crappie fishing. But it amazes me that crappie fishermen are like, ugh, you're a troller? Ugh, you're a single poler? Ugh, you go out there and troll all day? It amazes me The one thing I will say about bass fishing is it doesn't matter if you're throwing a Shad Rap, jerk bait, a deep diving crankbait, a lizard, a worm, a jig. It doesn't matter. All the different, a swim bait, an A rig. I mean, it don't matter what you're throwing. You're a bass fisherman. Now, if you tell somebody you saw XYZ go catch a fish off point 19 and it was a 5-pounder, he's going to shoot you when you get back to the ramp. But you're still a bass fisherman. It just amazes me that crappie fishermen will look at somebody and think, you're a troller? Ugh. We're still crappie fishermen. Everybody's a crappie fisherman. There's a lot of really fun, really cool ways to catch a crappie. And I've done them all. I love them. I've spider rigged, I've long line trolled, I've pulled planer boards, I've vertical jigged, I've slip floated, I've dead sticked a minnow, I've drop shotted, I've shot docks, I've casted, I've pitched. I've done it all, and I love every single technique. Now, the one I love the least is spider rigging because you have to move like 0.5, 0.6 mile an hour, and if you're catching fish, it's amazing. If you're not catching fish, it'll make your head spin and come off, and it just drives me nuts to go out there and spider rig and not catch any fish. But no, I love every single way there is to catch a crappie, and I've done it every way, and we'll continue to do it every way. So as soon as spring gets here, we're going to do some planer boards. We're going to do some long line trolling. We're going to do some of these techniques that I love so much. So be watching out for those. I can't wait because when they get here, I'm doing it, and I'm going to catch as many as I can. Jeff Patel, thank you very much, buddy, for the super chat. I appreciate it again. It is a blessing to me, and I appreciate that from you very, very much, sir. Thank you. Let's see here. Where was I? That's once I've lost my spot. Only once tonight, though. That's pretty good. Not bad. So Sleep says, here in Texas, we put a gallon or half-gallon milk bottle, depending on how big it is, on the top to keep it upright. Sid Lewis comes back and says, Mississippi does that too, Sarge. What's up with Tennessee? We don't pollute in Tennessee. That's what's up with Tennessee. You guys over there polluting y'all's lakes with all these plastic jugs and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Some guys do that, but most of the time, I mean, the stuff we're fishing up here, if you put something in the lake, it will literally last. Like, I've got piles that have been in the lake for going on 10 years, and they're still there. I don't know what you guys are tying your milk jugs up with, but generally they won't last that long. If you're tying them with string or something like that, if you're doing it with wire, that probably would. But generally those will pop off. And look, like I said, I don't go to that extra mile because some of my best piles are ones that are falling over. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's they like that angle. They like being able to get under that 2x3, where they can get up underneath it, especially when the sun is high. It casts a shadow that they can get in. They can sit in that shadow. But some of my best piles are ones that have fallen over. So I don't go that extra step. Yeah, here's Slab Buster. Sarge, first thing I'd do is get hung in the rope tied to the jug. Yeah, me too, probably, as a matter of fact. Larry says he knows how Jason felt. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but okay. Paul, this is a good question right here from Paul. Paul says, Matt, would you tell me the equipment you would purchase to get iSpot down images, side scan, LiveScope? iSpot. You mean GPS down images? I think that's what you're talking about, Paul. So, if you were gonna do at some point, if you were gonna go to LiveScope, then you have to have a Garmin unit, right? The first thing I ask people when they ask me this question, and I know you probably don't want to put that on here, Paul, and you don't have to. I'm not asking you this question right now, but the first thing I do when people call and ask me this question is I say, "Where's your budget?" Because I don't want to give you. I mean, it's amazing right now. You can spend $800. Well, you could go buy HDS Gen 1s like I run for $400 or $500. Or you can, those are used. They don't make them anymore, but so you can go buy a used unit and run those, and you can't run LiveScope on those. So let me say that. But you could spend anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 on a Garmin unit, just the unit. That's not the LiveScope box. That's just the unit. So you really got to know where your budget's at, I guess, Paul. But an entry level Garmin unit that will run LiveScope, that will have down imaging, side imaging, and GPS. The 93 SV UHD is probably as small of a unit that I would go with LiveScope. I would want at least a 9-inch screen. I would not do a 7-inch screen. I'd go with the 9-inch UHD from Garmin, and I'd get my LiveScope, and that would give you your side imaging, your down imaging, and you could use your LiveScope too with it. So that would be my suggestion. I prefer a standalone unit for my LiveScope. I prefer to have 2 units. I'd have one on the console and one in the front of the boat for my LiveScope. That's the way I'd prefer to do it. But if you only can have one, then I would get that's what I would go with. Slab Buster says, "Poor dog." Yeah, he's over there passed out right now. I'll take a picture of him for you. He's over here passed out. He tried to stand up a minute ago. He didn't make it very far. So he's got his Valentine's Day blankie on. He's not feeling too good right now. You can just tell he don't look good, but he don't feel good. So poor baby. Look at him. So anyway, he ain't feeling all that good. He's not feeling hot tonight. Rusty, sorry your dog is feeling bad, but can you please call him Rust Dog? Every time you say Rusty, I think you're talking to me. That's funny. I'm going to start calling you Rusty Dog. Yeah, I'm going to it. Cherokee, that's your new name. Rusty Dog. I'm going to be like, Rusty Dog, come here, man. That's funny. Phil Pickett, thinking of getting the specialist fishing specialties pole for my LiveScope. Worried about the bracket sticking on outside of boat and getting broke. Phil, I can tell you this. They're actually designed to do that. They're designed to break if you hit something. If you're worried about the bracket breaking, they make a aluminum bracket, aluminum mount. The base plate, they make an aluminum one. So they've got the marine board, and then they've also got an aluminum plate that will not break, I assure you. But if you hit something, you better make sure you're not hitting something that's going to cost you money if you hit it, because, let's say you are at a tournament or something and not paying attention, and you run up next to somebody's boat and you hit their boat with that thing, it's going to do damage. So there's several things you can do, guys, to fishing specialties products to make them more, well, I guess one of the questions I have the most is about the plastic screw. The plastic screw, again, it's designed to break. the thing is they want the screws to break or the marine board to break before your pole or your $1,500 LiveScope transducer does. Okay, so the marine board is, I think, $15 to get a new one, or $20. I don't even remember the price on them. They're not expensive. That $1,500 transducer breaks, it's going to mess you up. You know, well, it's not $1,500. That's for the package. The transducer, I think, is $500. But nonetheless, they're designed to do that, to protect your equipment. Now, what can you do to stop them from breaking? If you say, I don't ever want it to break, then there's actually, you can get the aluminum plate, okay, and you can get aluminum screws or stainless screws and put stainless screws in it, and it will not come loose, I assure you. So I put stainless screws in my marine board plate because I didn't want the screws to break. I'd rather the marine board itself break. So I went ahead and put stainless screws in mine so that I don't have any screw problems. But there again, you can get those plates, those aluminum plates, from Fishing Specialties if you're worried about the break or the bracket breaking. It's just whatever you want to do, Phil. Slab Buster said he was just kidding about the spider rig. Oh, I know you were. I know you was just kidding about the spider riggers. I'm just saying. I've dealt with that for years. Being president of East Tennessee Crappie Club, I've dealt with that for years. You see it all the time. People are like, "Dadgum spider riggers, dadgum longliners," and then your trollers are like, "Dadgum single polars." You know, it's just back and forth. It's the tangled web we weave, Slab Buster. James says, drinking Mountain Dew and crappie fishing, that is the life. Hoorah. I like my Mountain Dews. Chris Carter, what's going on, Chris? He says, from Ohio, 8 inches of snow. I think you should give away a pack of grasshopper stump bugs. Last yeah, I've given away a lot of grasshopper stump bugs. I actually have given some away and hadn't gotten emails from people, but I don't know. I don't know if we're going to give any away tonight or not. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. James says, why don't you use crappie nibbles? Well, because they taste horrible, first and foremost. I do use crappie nibbles some. I've had this conversation before, James, many a times, and I'm not going to whip a dead horse tonight, but I thought I heard a kid crying. I do not. I don't use them very often, but I do use them. When I use them, I use the slab bites from Crappie Magnet. Those are the chartreuse. Everybody knows I like chartreuse. It's probably my favorite crappie color is chartreuse. I use them more for color and for profile than I do for scent. Again, it's not that I don't use them. It's just I don't believe in the scent part of them. I believe in the profile change of the bait, and I believe in the color of the crappie nibble. So that's that. Kenneth Pippins, Matt, can you tell me where to find 12-inch Gen 1 Lowrance unit? Yeah, there's not one. They did not come out with a 12-inch Gen unit until Gen 2. The largest Gen 1 unit you can get is 10 inches, which is what I run. So. Josh asks Rusty what he did to get the broke plastic screws out. It's easy. You just, well, I've broke them off too before. They're easy. I mean, it's pretty simple to get out. I just took a knife, and I did it on the water. I just took a knife and made a little line in them with a knife. Just sit there and scrape the top of them with a knife to get like a flathead screwdriver in there, and then just took the knife and backed them out. That's what I did. And I had one that I couldn't get in there and put a line in. It was broke off a little too deep, and I just took I literally took a knife. Well, I don't have a knife on me, but I literally took a knife and just tapped it on the top and tapped it down in it, and then just turned it, and it came right out. That's how I did mine. Jamie says he sent me an email. I'll look in my email, Jamie. I'll reply to you. Phil Pickett, will the fishing specialties pole have any give if you bump into standing timber? Yes, it will. So the way the cone is designed, Phil, the cone that sits down, so you've got your bracket, you've got your marine board bracket that sticks out over the side of your boat, and then you've got a cone that goes down. It's a reverse cone in the bracket, and then on the pole is a cone that goes down and sits in it. And they're reversed from one another. So there's two cones that are reversed from one another. So you've got a male and a female, really. And they set down inside one another. Well, if you bump something with the bottom of that transducer, it will actually push that pole up the way the cone is designed. One way, well, if you get above about 5 or 6 mile an hour with your pole in the cradle, it will push it up. So you got to be careful with that. If you ever think, well, I'm just going to idle across here and go to this next brush pile on this side of the creek, there is a little tab on top that you can flip the tab to keep it from coming up. But if you don't flip that tab over and keep it from coming up, and you go to idle across the creek and you get above about 5 mile an hour, it will push your pole out. So you got to be careful. But yes, it will. If you bump into standing timber, it will push the pole up because the cone is designed to do so. Okay. Phil Pickett, thank you, sir. I appreciate your super chat very much. I appreciate the blessing, and I thank you for it. So thank you for your super chat, Phil. Slab Buster says, Matt said they give you a tummy ache. Yes, slab bites give you a tummy ache if you eat 4 of them. So, which I did. That's a whole nother story for another night. James, thanks a bunch, man. So green. Slab bites. How about slab sauce? So slab sauce, you talking, I guess is that Crappie.com slab sauce? Is that what they use, slab sauce? Is that a Crappie.com product? I think it is. I cannot use, actually, I think I have some right here. Hang on a minute. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. So a long time ago, I got this slab sauce. This is slab sauce from Crappie.com. I'll tell you what, we're going to give this away tonight. This is what we're going to give away tonight. I'm going to give somebody a bottle of slab sauce. And you guys can use it and report back and tell me what you think. How's that? Is that cool? Everybody good with that? And I'll tell you why I'm going to give this away, because this will kill me. This slab sauce right here could potentially kill me on the lake. Okay? And that's not a joke. That's not a lie. That's not a joke. That is a serious, honest to God, kill me if I was not careful. If I would have used this and not paid attention before I went out and used this, it could have been ugly. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say about that. So we're going to give this away tonight because it has been lingering around in here, and it's still good, by the way. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this because I haven't had it that long. So this is still a very, very good product that you can see has not been used. Where's the, you can't even, there it is. It's very full all the way to the tippity top. Hasn't been sprayed one time. So we're going to give away slab sauce tonight in a minute. In just a minute. Oh, Josh says I can give his pack away because he didn't got them yet because he's going to get them from me at the next tournament. But he bought plenty, so we can give his pack away. So we'll do that too. I'll give away a pack of grasshoppers and I'll give away the slab sauce. Okay, guys? So stick with us. Where was that slab sauce question? Oh, there it is, James Solomon. How about slab sauce? So can't report back on slab sauce, buddy. Sorry, I wish I could, but I just can't. I can't report on it because, well, I guess I need to tell you why. So I got this, and I was thinking to myself, you know, this has got to be pretty good stuff. And I thought, well, let me smell it. So I reached down like this, and I went to open it up, and I thought, let me smell this. And I went to crack this lid, and I just so happened when I went to crack this lid that I looked down, and I thought, oh, wait a minute. Not for human consumption. Okay. So I started reading this label. I don't know what made me read this label, but for some reason I thought, okay, I'm going to read this label. So I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, Rusty. Okay. I'm thinking, not for human consumption, Billy Bob approved, 1 ounce. And then right underneath, not for human consumption, is this verbiage right here. Can you guys, let me see. Can you guys read what that says right there under not for human consumption? Can you guys read that? Can you make that out? May contain shellfish. So that's a no-no for me. If I would have got out there and held my jig up and went, and that wind blew that back in my face, it would have got ugly really quick on that lake. And I assure you, I would not have been able to get back to the ramp fast enough if I didn't have Benadryl in the boat. And I generally don't carry Benadryl in my boat because I generally don't eat shellfish on my boat. So that would have got real ugly real quick. And yeah, I'm not using slab sauce. Nope. Even if they called and offered me $1 million, I couldn't use it. I just couldn't. It ain't worth it. That is not a fun ride for me. So anyway, that's the whole slab sauce story. Josh Sanders says you got to smash that like button to be eligible to win his stump bugs. So smash that like button for him, guys, please, or for me, either one. Roger Hines may contain shellfish. Yes, sir. He is awake, and that is correct. It may contain shellfish. So James Solomon said, I understand, man. So I'm assuming James is allergic to shellfish too. Or, oh, no, I was answering James's question. So he understands I can't use it. I wish I could tell you, buddy. But hey, if you don't have some, you got a chance to win some here in just a minute. So stick around. All right, guys. So I've gotten to the bottom of my comments here. I'm going to talk for just another minute, and we're going to give that stuff away. And if you guys don't have any more questions, we're going to call it a night. So let's talk a little bit more about the last trip to Tellico. Again, I ran the river channels, and I'm talking primary creeks in the river. Looked for submerged timber is what I was looking for. Found fish on submerged timber. Dwayne has a question. Dwayne says, any discount code for amped outdoor lithium batteries? Yes. Right. Coming up right here, right now, as a matter of fact, if it's the same on your screen as it is on mine. Crappie Cove 10% off. Crappie Cove stocks amped outdoor lithium batteries. Okay. So call Crappie Cove right there at the number below and ask them for your batteries, see if they have them. I know Amped Outdoors is backed up. They're trying to get stuff out. Obviously, with everybody getting LiveScope, the battery situation is slim, but they are shipping product out as quickly as they can, and Crappie Cove's getting it as quick as they can. So Tyler said, need to carry a little EpiPen with you, Matt. No, I just don't need to use slab sauce. I just need to keep things that contain shellfish in the drawer in the office and not in the boat. So, I just don't eat shellfish. I just stay away from the shellfish. I'm okay. Shellfish and bunny rabbits. Those are my poisons. Of all things to be allergic to, a bunny rabbit. A little cute, fluffy bunny rabbit. I don't know, but hey, whatever. I remember the first time, funny story, my wife, she said, you're not allergic to bunny rabbits. That's absurd. She said, I've never heard anything. If she's still on here, I hope she's listening. She says, you're not allergic to bunny rabbits. Nah, you're not allergic to bunny rabbits. I said, yes, I am. I said, I'm allergic to bunny rabbits. I'm allergic to shellfish. No. She says, I don't believe that. It's a bunny rabbit. Okay. So my oldest son was 9. My oldest son was 9. My youngest son was almost 2. And we took him to a photographer to have professional pictures done, like you do with your kids over and 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 over again, because they need professional pictures done all the time. I'm going to be in the doghouse when I get off here, guys. But anyway, so she says, let's go get Easter pictures done. Okay, cool. So we're going to get Easter pictures of the boys. They bring out this big bunny rabbit. I mean, a big bunny rabbit. I'm talking, it was the Goliath of bunny rabbits. I'm like, nope, I'm out. Peace. See you. And change our clothes before they get in my truck. I'm out of here. She's like, no, you're not. No. I was like, I'm gone. I'm going to get in a truck. So you can't leave, So I'm standing on the other side of the building at this point, and I'm like, are they taking pictures with that? Oh, yeah, they're going to take pictures. It's Easter, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, a live bunny rabbit. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. So then the photographer looks over at me and goes, because my son's not 2 yet. I mean, he's barely setting up and doing his thing and, whatever. And she looks over at me and says, Dad, I need you to come over here and hold your son so that, sit. They had this bench set up, and she said, lay down behind the bench and just reach up there and hold your son. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I get down behind this bench and I'm like, holding him up, right? And I'm like, I don't know about all this. And the bunny rabbit literally starts walking around. I'm like, nope. Oh gosh. And I'm like, nope. I'm trying to catch my kid. So anyway, finally she goes, just, can you hold the bunny's tail? I'm like, no, no way. So then she convinces me that this is what I need to do. Hold this bunny's tail. I'm like, no. So I just reached and I was like, whatever, let's get it done. So I reached up there, I grabbed the backside of this bunny. It was 5 minutes. I'm not kidding you. 5 minutes. I'm like, my wife's like, you all right? I'm like, nope, I'm going to the truck. And I went to the truck. I said, get the kids and let's go now. I'm like, we got to go. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm positive. So we get to the truck. She gets the kids, comes out. I'm already red, like blotched. Okay. She looks over at me and she's like, you're allergic to bunny rabbits. Do you need to go to the hospital? I'm like, I told you I was allergic. Anyway, that's a little wired fam story. I am allergic to bunny rabbits for sure. And we got Benadryl in me real quick, and I passed out for about 12 hours and woke up and was luckily okay. But yeah, it was pretty comical. So anyway, let's see. What are you guys saying? Making fun of me, I'm sure. Jason says, just wanted to say thanks to Matt and the community. First live stream for me to join. Looking forward to learning more about crappie fishing and getting my 2 younger boys into it. Jason, thank you for coming, buddy. This is a passion for me, teaching and helping people and helping people become better anglers and growing in the sport of crappie fishing. That's my passion. It says so on my channel, teaching you to become a better angler. That's my passion. That's my goal. And I'm glad you're here with us, buddy. Thank you for being here this evening. Thank all of you guys for being here this evening, because I couldn't do this without you guys. So thank everybody. And thank you, Jason, for the kind words. I appreciate you. Slab Slayer, anybody have a discount code for Crappie Magnet? No, I do not. I apologize. I am not affiliated with them. The channel is not affiliated with them. And I do not have a code for them. I'm sorry, Slab Slayer. Chris says, my son fished Chickamauga Saturday and got a limit 2 hours. Sunday could not catch crappie, or could not catch a crappie. Weird. So Saturday, high pressure, Sunday, low pressure. Chickamauga Sunday was a very cold day because I fished Sunday and it was cold. But Chickamauga is a shallower reservoir. It's probably the shallowest on average in East Tennessee. As far as East Tennessee lakes are concerned, Chick is probably the shallowest. The upper end of Chick is definitely shallower than the majority, and it affects those pressure swings affect those fish more because shallower water. So that's probably what happened to you there, Chris. Crappie Kev says, Matt is scared of the Easter bunny. I was definitely scared of that bunny. Ain't no doubt about it. Hey, the Easter bunny I'm good with. That dude in the suit, they ain't no problem for me. Hey, what's up? But a real rabbit? Nah, No, that's why I couldn't ever be a rabbit hunter. I mean, I'd be like, hey, I got one. Okay, I got another. All right. I'd have to carry 20 EpiPens with me. But no, definitely not scared of the dude in the big suit. Oh yeah, Josh is right. I don't know what I was talking about. Where's that comment? Where's that comment? I was thinking straight up. Where'd you go? Slab Slayer. Discount code for crappie magnets. So they have crappie magnets at Crappie Cove. I'm so sorry. I should have mentioned that, and I did not. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I'm out in left field tonight again, guys. I'm worried about my puppy dog. Crappie magnets are at Crappie Cove Slab Slayer. You can get 10% off by calling that phone number right down there, right there. It'll come back through. Wired at Crappie Cove will save you 10% on those crappie magnets. Okay, buddy? Thank you, Josh. Josh reminded me. And Heidi. Thank you, Heidi. Chris, he was close to Dayton. There you go. That's it. Like I said, the upper end of Chick is on average shallow. Every bay or creek or tributary or cove or whatever you want to call them, up through there is shallow. And that is probably what messed him up, is that low pressure came in, the temperature dropped, the surface temp dropped, and those fish went. So, or it just shut them down. They just said, we're not going to eat today. Scott Pace says he's late. How's everyone doing? We're doing well, Scott. Misty says, thanks, Heidi and Josh. Matt's horrible. He can't remember what we have, what we don't have for some reason, and Matt stinks. But yes, Crappie Cove. Guys, if you haven't watched the Crappie Cove video that I put out this past week, go watch the video. We went over everything that is in Crappie Cove, from life vests to bait buckets to fillet knives to tournament scales to buoy markers to crappie, I think I said crappie magnets, boneheads, jiffy jigs, ACC baits, jig heads, light wire hooks, amped outdoors batteries, frog tog rain gear, ACC crappie sticks, B&M rods, hats, shirts, boneheads, ACCs, Crappie Cove wired for crappie shirts. Guys, go check the video out for Crappie Cove, and you will see everything that's in that store. Okay, that will help you guys out when you're trying to locate some of this stuff to fish with, and you can get it at 10% off with the wired code. So go watch that and see what's in the store. Okay, please. Phil Pickett, yes, they do. They do have light wire hooks, light wire jigs. They sure do. All right, so because we're talking about the Crappie Cove video, we're going to give some stuff away. All right, you guys want to win some stuff? Since we're talking about the Crappie Cove video, we are going to... hang on, Slab Slayer. Misty, will y'all be getting slab curly crappie magnets in pumpkin pie color not listed online? Yes, they have them, Slab Slayer. Call Misty tomorrow, okay? Call Misty tomorrow. All right. So since we are talking about that video, I'm going to ask a couple questions from the video, and the first person to answer will win. We're going to give away the slab sauce, and we're going to give away a pack of the famous pumpkin and chartreuse stump bugs. Okay? Thank you, Josh. And you can't win these, Josh. So when I ask the question on these, don't answer it, because you can't win these. You can't win your own stuff back. All right. So, slab curly crop max one pie color not listed online. All right. Well, there went one of my questions. Y'all already talking about it. My wife's doing a jig at the door again. My wife's dancing for me. All right, I got to come up with another question since y'all already started talking about the one I was going to ask. All right, so who can tell me what the joke on this is for the stump bugs. So Josh, you can't answer. Who can tell me what joke I played on Chris, Mr. Sarge Gill, in the video last week? Who can tell me what the joke was? First one I see come on gets a pack of grasshoppers. I made a joke about Mr. Gill in my video last week. Who can tell me what it was? Who can tell me what it was? Steven, got it right. Steven, broken rod, that's right. So for those that missed it, I played a little joke on him. Well, it wasn't really a joke. It was the truth. He broke his rod because he was holding it in the wrong place. He was holding it way up in the middle of the rod, tried to set a hook on the fish, and he snapped his rod in half. So I made a little jokey on him. Steven, send me an email to info. I'm going to put it down here in the comments. info@wiredforcrappie.com, buddy. Shoot me an email. And I will get these out to you, okay? All right, the slab sauce. Let's give away this death in a bottle. Really is death in a bottle. It could be. It says may contain. Doesn't even say contain. It just says may contain. So it's Russian roulette in a bottle. Rub it on my face. So it's Russian roulette. Crappie roulette in a bottle for me. So let's give that joker away. Let me get rid. Hey, banana jacket. Tyler Keys' banana jacket. Yeah, that was a couple videos ago, but yes, I made a joke on him then too. He looked like a reflective banana. That was pretty funny. He did look like a reflective banana. He had reflective tape on his jacket, and it was this bright yellow. I mean, he looked like a reflective banana. I love him. He's like a brother to me, so we can cut up with each other. But anyway, he did look like a reflective banana. All right. Let's see. I want to know who watched the video, so let's get a little bit further into it. Let's get a little deep. Who paid attention? Let's see. Trying to think of a good one. I need a good one. I need one of those stump everybody. Who can tell me? Well, I don't want to do that one. Who can tell me what product was underneath the boneheads? Who can tell me what product was underneath the boneheads? It's all the same product, so it should be underneath the bonehead tackle products on the wall. Who can tell me what's underneath it? Directly underneath it. Dun, 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 dun. Did y'all pay attention? Did y'all pay that close of attention? I don't need to open that. Man, y'all did. Chris Carter, Jiffy Jigs, Jiffy J. I'll take that. Jiffy Jigs. Jiffy Jigs were underneath the bonehead tackle stump bugs and slim sticks. There was a Chad Hillard said minute bucket. There was a minute bucket on the floor, but no, the Jiffy Jigs are directly underneath all the bonehead products in the store. So, Chris, again, to you, sir, shoot me an email with your mailing address, and I'll get that out to you. Okay, that is a glass bottle. I'll try to put it in some. Bubble wrap. I think I've got some bubble wrap at the shop. I'll try to bubble wrap it, send it to you, but. if something happens, don't get mad at me if you get shellfish water in the mail. Hope you're not allergic to shellfish because this has shellfish. Are you allergic to shellfish, Chris? Are you allergic to shellfish? Tell me now. Comment. Leave me a comment. Are you allergic to this stuff? Because I ain't sending it to you if you're allergic. I'm not going to be responsible. I ain't going to be responsible for that. It says it on the label, so I can't be responsible, right? He said, no, sir. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you all for watching. I appreciate y'all for being here tonight. We're going to call it, it's an hour and 45. I'm going to go love on my dog a little bit and make sure he's feeling good. So if you guys would watch out for the video coming this week, it's going to be a good one. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy this week's video. Caught some good fish. And then catch us next week on the live at 9 o'clock. Don't forget, guys, check out that Crappie Academy at Crappie Cove and help yourself to some discounted products from them as well. And I appreciate you guys for being here, like I said, and thank you to all of you. Hope you guys have a great week and a great night. And as always, guys, God bless. We'll see you later.